in these close games, it's a pattern, it's a psyche thing, or I guess how do you explain it?
I think it starts off early on with defense, kind of setting that tone. We're not setting the tone defensively early on. We wait till, they hit us a few times with some early buckets for us to, all right, let's get some stops. It has to happen as soon as 20 minutes start in the first half. And then once we have that mentality, everything else take care of itself.
So a lot of turnovers in the first half, a lot of foul shots taken for the game total. What did it feel like to play in this game, sort of flow-wise?
I mean, you gotta learn early on what the refs are calling. If it's gonna be a nicky knack game, you gotta adjust to it. Obviously, some games in the Big Ten, like, you can get away with playing football. So, I think tonight, obviously, offensively, our turnovers definitely could have been limited. But you just gotta stay the course, learn from them, and not keep making the same mistakes.
Will, you had another good offensive game, and your numbers are way up this year. Talk about the work that went into making the improvements that we're seeing on the court now.
I mean, I feel like every one of our guys is, getting extra shots, working on their game. Obviously, my redshirt year last year, it's never been a question of if I was working, but just my confidence is a little bit up. Got great teammates around me, but now we just got to translate into some wins.
In particular, the 3 points.
Oh, what do you mean?
Yeah, in particular, your 3-pointers.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at my high school numbers, I've always been able to shoot threes. So, but that's not the important thing right now. We got to win.
Seemed like Indiana was able to score really well in the paint tonight. What made them so hard to stop on the interior?
Yeah, I'll answer that one since I was down there. They got 2 really talented bigs down there. Malik and Khalil. All credit to them. They're really good. Myself included, I take responsibility. Probably need to be a little bit more physical. Going back to what was said earlier with the refs, that can make it a little bit harder. Be physical, get your early position, but not to make excuses. We need to be better at doing our work early, making sure that they're not getting the looks that they want.
Not to repeat a question from earlier, but Will, you didn't have a chance to answer this one. Does this loss like this after the Oregon loss, does it feel similar to last year at all in the struggles in close games, or does it feel completely different?
I don't know. We're trying not to think about, last year, this year, all that. Focused on this team this year and what we can do to be better. Because there's not one guy in that locker room that doesn't want to win. We all want to win. That's not a question of, our character as, teammates, as players. I can honestly look every single guy in the face and everyone's disappointed in, a play that didn't go their way, what they could have done better. And we're looking for solutions. We're not looking to make excuses.
We can see what a competitor you are. What's the source of your competitiveness?
If we're really going to be honest, my mom and dad growing up, my grandpa, it was always, if things aren't going your way, work a little bit harder. So I think, that's kind of where it stems from. Always have had to work in order to get where I'm at. So it's just, every night, empty the tank is my mentality. Give it all you got. That way when you walk off the floor, you have no regrets.
Last year I asked you who worked with you on your shot when you were a kid. You said your mom. Talk about that. Was it in the backyard? Or?
Yeah, we have a basketball court in our backyard. Always just getting shots up with her out there. High school gym, middle school gym, really any gym we can find. Up at our cabin, we got a hoop up there. We spend a lot of time up there in the summer. So there's always, it's never a question of if you can find a basketball court. It's just if you want to work.
Andrew?
Because you got obviously Jawan's the head coach, but you have an acting head coach in Phil. You got 2 different assistants that, run the offense and the defense. What are huddles like in game right now as far as the voices you're hearing?
There's a lot of communication going on. And I think it kind of provides like a open source of like everybody can pitch in and give their insight, especially guys on the floor, and then the coaches tell us what they see and what we need to do offensively, defensively, and just toughness. It's a good balance of communication and helps.
Go to Lindsay.
Doug had an amazing shooting night against Oregon and struggled a little bit tonight. How important is he and his production, not just in terms of scoring, but in terms of his leadership, and how does he impact the game, and how does a night like this kind of show like struggles?
He's super important, especially setting our pace. And we know he can, light the scoreboard up, light the other teams up. And it's hard to stay in front of him. So he sets that offensive tone for us by him getting down the hill and making reads or finishing himself. And tonight wasn't his best scoring night, but he was still there mentally. And that's what we do as teammates, pick each other up when times go like this, because it always happens in careers. There's never a time where a guy just has perfect game each and every night. So it's a steady flow, up and down, just comes with this basketball thing. So stay in the course, keep the same mindset through it all, keep it kill, it'll be fine.
Yeah, Will, I think I read an article you were talking about when your team had a 5 or 6 point lead, you would have communication issues and lose a lead. I mean, there was with 9 minutes to go, you had a 6 point lead. What happened at that point where it lowered away?
I mean, ever since we got beginning of practice in September, we always talked about score, stop, score, stop, score, stop. Felt like we started to get a little bit complacent with score, they'd score, they'd score. And then, I mean, we're not going to shoot 100% from the field, so we'd miss, and we'd let that affect us on the other end. So I think it's almost a little bit of like a mindset switch that we have to have, that we just really can't have our offense affect what we're doing on the defensive end. How we fix that, obviously there's many ways, but we have to.
We got time for one more. We'll go to Tony. Yeah, I guess just what is the right balance of, I guess, maybe concern with a 1-5 stretch, but also seeing you guys are 1 possession away from Oregon on the road, 1 possession away from Indiana, and it's now 7-1. How do you view it?
We have all the right tools. It's just how we're gonna, how we are going to put those tools in the right spot in order to win, and how we're gonna come together, and we're gonna click. Like Nimari believes it, everyone believes it. We're gonna click eventually. We just need to, whether it's talk more, whether it's go get another offensive rebound, whether it's pass up a good shot for a great shot, whether it's push harder in transition. Like, we're gonna find, like, we've seen it click before. First 3 games, exhibition, scrimmage. Like, we know what it takes. We just have to get back. Gotta get our swagger back. So, one sec. He had a question.
Oh yeah, thanks, Will. It's another game where a few key free throws were missed at the end of the game, and it feels like it's a bit of a trend now.
Yeah.
What does it take to hit those big shots when time's running out?
Well, I mean, assuming you're talking about, I know whose free throws you're talking about, and we're all human. We're all gonna make mistakes. To feel, I don't necessarily know if he felt that pressure, but it's just we all make mistakes. We're all human. He's gonna win us a ton of games. We need him. So I'm not really. It sucks, but everyone misses. No one's perfect. He'll do better.
Thanks, guys.